A new rule is now in effect that blocks Texans from changing the gender listed on their driver's license or state-issued ID. Previously, the Department of Public Safety would accept court orders or amended birth certificates to update someone's sex on a license, but on Wednesday, the department announced that process is no longer valid. One Austin man tells us he just applied for a court order to submit to DPS. Now he's left in a legal limbo.
It makes me wonder how safe I am here, and how I don't know how much longer I can even emotionally afford to live in Texas.
It's not clear what caused this policy change to happen now, but for context, it comes at a time when some state leaders have pushed for policies to limit the rights of transgender people. Ryan Chandler takes a closer look.
Late Wednesday night, DPS told us their policy change comes after the Attorney General's office raised concerns about the validity of the court orders mandating DPS to change an applicant's gender.
We think it's incredibly important that IDs in Texas are accurate instead of being based off of thought-perceived gender identification.
Conservatives praising the change and hoping more agencies follow suit. DPS's policy change is a reflection of the Texas Republican Party's official platform, which opposes all efforts to validate transgender identity. Some Republicans hope Texas passes a statewide ban against recognizing transgender identity.
I'm sure this will be something that is explored further by many members of the legislature.
But transgender rights lawyers worry the move denies equal protection to an already vulnerable group.
When you don't have identity documents that match who you are, that means it's hard for you to get housing, it's hard for you to have a bank account, it's hard for you to get health care.
Skeen anticipates legal challenges, if not on equal protection grounds, to assert the authority of these court orders. It may not be so easy for the Attorney General to tell state agencies to just ignore a court.
Judicial court orders are meant to be binding on state agencies.
Ryan Chandler, State of Texas.
For context, the license policy comes about a week after Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton sued the Biden administration over federal workforce protections for transgender employees. And in June, Paxton sued to block a policy extending federal Title IX protections to include sexual orientation and gender identity. As students return to class, Texas school districts are grappling with a growing budget crisis.
You can make an adjustment and save $22 million, $19 million, but at what cost?
Our special report looks into what's at stake for students and teachers, and what lawmakers say needs to happen to make sure schools get the funding they need.